Welcome to ATM 101 Weather and Climate of Alaska, Unit 12, Weather Analysis and Forecasting. This week we will be analyzing and comparing observations and forecasts taken in Sandpoint, Bethel, Nome, and Fairbanks for the week of January 26th through the 31st. This graph shows a comparison of the National Weather Service observations for the 26th through the 31st. Additionally, it shows forecasts done on Tuesday and on Thursday for comparison. This week overall, Sandpoint saw very neutral weather, with lows predicted to 33 above and highs of 43 above. What they actually saw was 34 above to 45 above, not straying outside that 10-degree range. Bethel saw weather that was a little more varied, with lows dipping just below 20 above and highs just over 40. As far as predicting goes, they did predict close to what actually occurred, although it did tend to be more in the high ranges than the low ranges. Nome also saw some variety in their weather for this week, their lows dipping down to 15 above and their highs reaching almost 35 above. Their predicted weather versus their actual weather as far as temperatures go did match relatively closely. Fairbanks saw the widest stretch of weather with lows dipping into the negatives at the end of the observation period and highs reaching up to 25 to 27 degrees Fahrenheit. And the predictions that they had did closely match to what actually occurred. In these tables, we see the National Weather Service's daily average temperatures recorded in our 4 different locations for the week of January 25th through February 1st. Additionally, Table 2 shows the average temperatures for each location. Next, we will compare these numbers and the different types of forecasting, both persistence and climatology, to see which is more accurate for each area for the week. Here we see the Tuesday and Thursday forecasts for both Friday and Sunday in our 4 different locations. With persistence forecasting, we assume that the temperature and weather of today is going to continue. So for Sandpoint, we expect the forecast to be 39 degrees on Tuesday because it was at that time 39 degrees. By the time Thursday rolls around, we anticipate a decline to 36 degrees because Thursday's temperature were around the 36 degrees. Additionally, for Bethel, the recorded temperature of 31 degrees on Tuesday is anticipated to continue. However, by Thursday, when we see 26 degrees, we alter our forecast. Additionally, for Nome, Tuesday's forecast would have Friday and Sunday being 27 degrees. However, by Thursday, we'll have adjusted that forecast to 18 degrees. Fairbanks' Tuesday forecast for Friday and Sunday started at 10 degrees. By Thursday, our forecast is only adjusted by 1 degree. In climatological forecasting, we take the average daily temperature over an extended period of time, and we assume that temperatures are going to follow that same trend for each area. By that standard, Sandpoint is expected to be 28 degrees, Bethel is expected to be 7 degrees, Nome is expected to be 6 degrees, and Fairbanks is expected to be -7 degrees. In the analysis of persistence forecasting, for Sandpoint, the Tuesday forecast for Friday was spot on. However, the Tuesday forecast for Sunday was off by 3 degrees. The Thursday forecast for Sandpoint for Friday was off by 3 degrees, and for Sunday it was spot on. For Bethel, our Tuesday forecast for Friday was off by only 2 degrees. However, our Tuesday forecast for Sunday was off by 7 degrees. Our Thursday forecast for Friday was further off by 3 degrees in the opposite direction, and our Sunday forecast was even further off by 12 degrees. For Nome, our Tuesday forecast for Friday was off by 4 degrees, and for Sunday off by 5 degrees. However, our Thursday forecast for Friday was off by 5 degrees, and our Sunday forecast was off by 14 degrees. For Fairbanks, our Tuesday forecast for Friday was off by 6 degrees, and for Sunday was off by 11 degrees. Our Thursday forecast for Friday was off by 5 degrees, and for Sunday off by 12 degrees. A comparison of our climatology forecast showed that for Sandpoint, our Friday forecast was off by 11 degrees, and our Sunday forecast off by 8. For Bethel, our Friday forecast was off by 22 degrees, and for Sunday it was off by 31 degrees. For Nome, we saw a Friday forecast off by 17 degrees, and Sunday off by 26 degrees. For Fairbanks, our Friday forecast was off by 23 degrees, and our Sunday forecast off by 6 degrees. This being an uncharacteristically warm winter shows that climatology forecasting was not as accurate for us. Here we compare which types of forecasting were more accurate for each location. For Sandpoint, persistence forecasting provided accurate forecasting for both Tuesday and Thursday, where climatology forecasting was only good, moderately good for Sunday, and actually false for Friday. For Bethel, persistence forecasting provided mixed results. Tuesday forecasting had one accurate and one moderately accurate reading, and Thursday forecasting had one accurate and one false. Additionally, climatology forecasting for Bethel had false results for both Friday and Sunday forecasts. Nome saw greater accuracy with persistence forecasting, with Tuesday's forecast for Friday and Sunday being accurate, Thursday's forecast for Friday being accurate, Sunday's being inaccurate. Additionally, climatology forecasting for Nome were both inaccurate for Friday and Sunday. Fairbanks saw mixed results from both persistence forecasting and climatology forecasting. For Tuesday's forecast of Friday, we had a moderately accurate result, where however Sunday's was very inaccurate. Thursday's forecast for Friday was accurate, while Sunday's was inaccurate. And the climatology forecast for Friday was inaccurate, and Sunday was moderately accurate. For my climate region of Fairbanks, climatology forecasting and persistence forecasting were approximately equal in accuracy. However, the Thursday forecast for Friday had the highest accuracy, whereas the Sunday forecasts for both persistence forecasting days were both inaccurate, and the climatology forecast for Friday was inaccurate, and the Sunday forecast was moderately accurate. The most accurate forecasting was for Sandpoint and using the persistence forecasting. Overall, Fairbanks had the least accurate in both persistence and climatology forecasting overall. Here we compare the National Weather Forecast average daily temperatures in our 4 different locations, how far off they were, and whether they were accurate or not. The National Weather Service forecasted on Tuesday that Sandpoint would see Friday and Sunday temperatures of 37 degrees. The error in that average daily temperature was 4 degrees in either direction. That puts us both days within the 5-degree difference for an accurate forecast. The National Weather Service's Thursday forecast for Friday and Sunday were 36 and 37 degrees respectively. That put the error in average daily temperature for Thursday's forecast at 3 and 4 degrees. This is still within our range of an acceptably accurate forecast. For Bethel, the National Weather Service forecasted on Tuesday that Friday would see 26 degrees and Sunday 28 degrees. The error in average daily temperatures for Bethel on Friday was 0. They were spot on. On Sunday, however, they were off by 11 degrees. That made Friday's forecast within the range of acceptable accuracy, whereas Sunday's was outside that range in failure. Thursday's forecast for Bethel saw 25 degrees for Friday and 34 degrees for Sunday. The actual error in that was off by 1 on Friday and 5 on Sunday. That put both of these forecasts within the realm of acceptable forecasting error. For Nome, the National Weather Service forecasted on Tuesday Friday's temperatures to be 18 degrees and Sunday's to be 23. That meant the error in these average daily temperatures for Friday was 6 and Sunday was 11. The 6 puts it inside the realm of moderately accurate, and the 11 puts it outside the realm of accurate. Thursday's forecasts for Friday and Sunday were closer, Friday at 19 degrees and Sunday at 28 degrees. This made Friday's forecast off by 5 degrees and Sunday's off by 6. So Friday's was considered accurate and Sunday's considered moderately accurate. For Fairbanks, the National Weather Service Tuesday forecast was 15 degrees for Friday and 5 degrees on Sunday. That made the error for Friday 1 and Sunday 6. This puts Friday's forecast in the realm of accurate and Sunday in the realm of moderately accurate. The Thursday forecast for Friday was 15 degrees and for Sunday 14 degrees. That meant the error in average daily temperatures was 1 degree for Friday and 14 for Sunday. This made the Friday forecast accurate and the Sunday forecast inaccurate. Overall, the National Weather Service saw high accuracy in all 4 locations. However, their highest accuracy was for Sand Point, their moderately highest accuracy was for Bethel, and then moderately accurate forecasting for both Nome and Fairbanks. Here we analyze and forecast the tracking of the low pressure system located here. In this prediction for Wednesday's weather, we saw that low front moving to the northwest Pacific here and increasing to 959 millibars. This prediction of the following day saw the low pressure system moving even further to the north and 978 millibars. To compare, the observation for Wednesday did see that low pressure front moving to the northwest and did increase to 955 millibars, which didn't quite make the 959 that we anticipated. Seeing this trend, we can forecast that the low pressure system will move further to the northwest Pacific area, reaching the coastline, and tend to be around 961 millibars. This observation for Thursday indicates the low pressure system did move up further north and to the west along the coastline here and actually increased to 976 millibars. Due to the uncommonly warm winter we experienced, climatology forecasting has not been very accurate. Sunday the 31st saw temperatures that were 25 degrees higher than they were anticipated by climatological forecasting. In part, this is due to the cloud cover and the occurrence of both the low pressure system and the high pressure system and the occlusion moving across the state. This also explains the National Weather Service's high accuracy of predictions for Sand Point and the low accuracy predictions for the interior. Had the occluded front located here been further to the east, it would have brought it across interior Alaska. This probably would have made the National Weather Service prediction for the interior more accurate and would line up more closely with what climatology forecasting would indicate for that area. Thank you for joining me for ATM 101, Weather and Climate of Alaska, Unit 12, Weather Analysis and Forecasting.